Greetings, everyone. We are so delighted to have you here today. It is another exciting day of our Qualitative Research Connect. It is good to see some of the familiar faces, those who have been attending in the past. And I see new faces as well, and I'm sure more people are coming. I want to take this time to welcome you back if you're coming back and welcome you if it's your first time to attend. We're very glad that you're here. As usual, I want you to put in the chat area where you're joining us from, which university. Most of the people who join are really from universities. So please go ahead and tell us where you're joining us from and we will be very glad to know because it's always good to know where people are joining us from. It's always exciting to see the different countries. In fact, sometimes the different countries. Right now, as I'm looking, it's like Philippines again might be the biggest country, but please go ahead and type in the chat area where you're joining us from so that we know the university or the institution and the country where that is. Trust me, we have people coming from different parts of the world, and so it's always nice to know the country as well, and not just the name of the university. Um, yes, Laguna State Polytechnic University. I have been in Siniloan. I've spoken there, I think, 3 times. So I definitely know where that is located. It's about, I would say 3, 4 hours drive from Manila. So I've been there. And Dr. Dan Namanya, welcome back, joining us from AUP. Greetings to our friends there. That's a university that's just next to the university where I used to work there in the Philippines. Camarines Norte State College. I haven't been to Camarines, but I know on the map where it is. I always wanted to go there, but I haven't been there. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. The rest of you, please post in the chat area where you're joining us from. And while you're doing that, I want to introduce our guest for today, somebody that I have known for. Um, I don't know, Dr. Janina, how long? Is it like 10 years? No, not 10 years, is it? No.
Eight,
8 years. What?
since 2016,
Pretty close. 8 years, my goodness. I cannot believe
almost nine.
it's almost 9. That's amazing. So we're here with Dr. Janina Estera Petre, who is a Romanian scholar with a PhD in education from the Adventist Institute International Institute of Advanced Studies in the Philippines. That's where we met when she was doing her doctorate. And I must tell you that uh, this is somebody who never wanted a mediocrity. I was just impressed, both for classes and her dissertation. It's like she always goes beyond what you ask for, and so that is just such a great honor to have her here today. She's an associate professor at Adventist University in Romania and the coordinator of the university's international conference. In fact, I had the privilege to be invited. She invited me earlier this year, so I was in Romania at her university. They had a fantastic international conference. Fantastic! It was just really, really nice. And I hope you talk about another one that's coming up soon. But I will leave that to you if you want to talk about that later on in the program after your presentation. She is a prolific writer. I was I was impressed. Just recently, we were looking at something, and I saw in just 2 years she had published like dozens of publications. I said, okay, how does she do this? I used to take some level of pride of publishing a lot, but when I saw how fast she was doing this and in extremely high quality journals, I said, okay, I think my time for retirement has started now, because she is so good at that. You can find her work by searching her on Google. So if you just Google her name there, you'll find her work. And we have been publishing a lot together through Sage Publishers. I think are you in the three of the publication Sage book that I have? Yeah.
All
So
true.
yeah, so she contributed to the Sage Handbook of Qualitative Research in the Asian context, the Sage Handbook of Online Higher Education that we published earlier this year. And then we have submitted just another one, the Sage Handbook of Higher Education Instructional Design, that will be published in July. She is again contributing to that, this time as my co-editor, because she has proven that she can definitely do more than just contributing to a chapter. So it's just exciting. Her research interests include qualitative research methodology, obviously, training researchers in qualitative research methodology, action research as a design to improve educational practices, photo voice applied to giving voice to marginalized groups, instructional design, and other related topics. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a special treat. This time we're doing it differently. We're trying something new. I'm giving her 25 minutes to have like a summary of the presentation, and then after that we will have the discussion. So please listen carefully. If you haven't introduced yourself in the chat area, please put your institutional affiliation there and the country where you're joining us from. And in about 25 minutes from now, we will have question and answer. So prepare your questions for Dr. Janina. Please take the floor. It is your time, Dr. Janina, and welcome.
Thank you very much for having me here. It's a privilege and an honor to be with you and also to see some people I know from the Philippines. So thank you for this introduction. I think it's a little bit too much for me. Yes, it's true that I developed my skills, but only because I had very, very good teachers at IAS. And one of them, it's you, Dr. Safari, and the other that we know. All of you had something to give me, and yeah, I like to learn, I like to develop, and I think this invitation, it's also part of my development because I like to be here with those people interested in qualitative research and now especially in photo voice. So I prepared a presentation and I will share the screen with you just to have the background for our discussion. Maybe some of the participants do not know very well this research design. And for this reason, I will share my PowerPoint. And after this, we can have discussions, questions as you consider. So just a little bit. Okay, can you see the
Yes,
full screen?
yes, we can.
Okay. Um, Photo voice as a qualitative research design, as we discussed, and it was presented in the group. Just to show you a picture. This is my university I'm coming from. I'm teaching here. I'm living here. You can also see one of the houses in the left side. It's our house. Um, it is in the southern part of Romania. It is the only uh, university in countryside. Okay, it's not in the city, it's outside of the city. And it is a small university, but very nice and oriented for true development. So I would like to start from this or with this question, what is photo voice? Um, it is a research design that it is oriented for change, for improvement. It is also considered and used as methodology and as a method. A methodology because has specific steps to follow. It's very clear, and also as a method because you can use only photo voice as method for data collection. But maybe later we can discuss more about this if you have questions. So, photo voice addresses to those who usually do not have a strong voice in the community or in their institution. It showed effective as being an effective method in health for women empowerment, for youth contribution in changing a community, for sharing life stories after natural disasters, for students' contribution in improving university environment and university teaching methods. I'm just giving you some studies conducted having photo voice as a research design. Um, I'd like to start continuing with its purposes because they are very clear, and these purposes can help us understand what can be done having photo voice as a research design. So it's to record and reflect on positive and negative aspects of a community, to promote dialogue on important issues, and to reach policymakers. It's about empowering people, empowering institutions, schools, and so on, and also for individual and social change. For this reason, it is considered participatory action research because it involves other participants that can contribute to the improvement of a place, school, society, or so on, yeah, in many directions. Um, the philosophical framework contains three theories or contributions. It's about empowerment education, how education or how through education a place, a community, or relations and so on can be improved because education it's power, and it can have a very, very strong impact in the development or the improvement of in society, in institutions, schools, and so on. Another framework comes from documentary photography because in photo voice we are using photos and also cameras um, to capture world views and realities. For this reason, through pictures, we can influence policymakers to make decisions that can improve a place. And it is considered that camera has power because you cannot deny what was captured in a picture. So if the picture is there, the policymakers cannot deny a reality. Okay. And also the third philosophical framework, it's coming from feminist theory because women are considered actors in their own words and not objects. So they can be part of a group that can contribute to change, to improvement. Um, and it was chosen because at the beginning of the photo voice development, um, most of the studies were conducted with women, yeah, because they are part of a marginalized group. Even today, we can say that women are not considered part of those who can decide, who can contribute in a positive way in many societies. Of course, in Western part of the world, maybe it's not so, but in the Eastern part, it's still a reality. Yeah, we are not considered as strong as a strong group to improve or to contribute to the wellness of the society. Here I have chosen two examples from a Photovoice study just to show the last part of the photo essay, because in the last part is the recommendation, what can be done. So the participants can improve to their recommendations, and later on we will come back. We'll come back to these parts, but just to show that only one picture with the photo essay can have power in changing, in improving a place. So here we can ask for a better pedagogical training of our professors who prefer monologue, and we can support this training by our active involvement. It was about conducting giving voice to those who consider that the traditional teaching is not anymore efficient, yes, in the 21st century. Also, the power of a picture and the photo essay about being punctual in the university classes. So here it's about students and teachers coming late to classes, and the recommendation is okay. This is a repetitive signal, and we cannot continue with this kind of behavior because we are at university. We cannot be late. We should become punctual people. Okay, why use photo voice? No, because it is another research design in qualitative research, and you can ask, okay, yeah, it's another one. We have many. Why should I use this? Because the reward is immediate. Because it's fun and creative to take photos, and can change the participants' perceptions about their social or physical environment. They can identify the positive aspects, and can feel that they are part of that environment. Without this reflection, we cannot say, actually, my environment, my school, it's pretty good. So, yeah, there are some improvements to be done, but still, there are good parts, and we should be aware of these good parts. Also, images can be understood regardless of language, culture, or other factors, because image, it's image. Okay, it's true that we can, with our own background, we can understand from different points. Still, is the same message that can be identified, and also the policymakers can't deny reality. So it's there in their face. They cannot say, no, it's not true. This is false. No. And I can give you an example. During one study, it was a picture about replacing some things, okay, tools from one part of our university. I will not give more details. And the director, seeing that photo, said, wow, I didn't know about this. He was new in the university. And he said, why nobody came to me and told me that, because I didn't know. Now I can replace those things, and everything should be well. So they can't deny reality. So it is a good way. Okay, how to conduct photo voice? Oh, sorry. We have some steps to follow. Okay, first we need to conceptualize the problem and stating the objectives. So what is the problem there? Because photo voice, um, it's about improving. Okay, so if it is about improving, we should put the finger on the problem and state our objectives. So, what a study aims to achieve in a specific context. Selecting the site. We need to have access to those people who are experiencing who are marginalized, because we are aiming to giving them a voice and to improve a situation. For those reasons, so we need to ask ourselves, what's the most suitable site for my study? I am going to access the target groups there. After that, we need to obtain permission from the involved institutions, or institution, depends on the number, in a written agreement. So we need to have this written agreement, especially, and maybe I should emphasize something here. It depends on the country policy or politics, the institution rules. You need to be aware what is required in the place that you are to conduct the study. But nevertheless, you need a written agreement. It's true that in some cultures, verbal agreement it's enough, but it's good to have a written agreement if possible. Okay, if in your culture is not possible or is not something that usually you are doing, do not worry. In the last years, a verbal agreement it's pretty well. Okay. Uh, then you need to select the participants and to have specific selection criteria uh, to, to have those who can give you the most important data, information in the context of your study. Then you need to secure fundings if you need something like that. And I will give you an example here. In most of my studies conducted by using Photovoice, I didn't need any funds. So with my own money, I could print the photos and prepare the photo exhibit and so on. However, when the study it involves many institutions, many groups, it's possible that you need some funds. Okay, so something might be for the photo voice exhibit, maybe for providing cameras if the participants don't have. So it depends on the situation. But when necessary, you may obtain some funds. Then obtaining verbal and written consent of the participants. Again, in some culture, is not necessary to be written because it's considered not appropriate, yeah, to be written. My word is enough. However, you may evaluate the situation and decide. And also the next step, training the trainers when necessary. If you have a group of co-researchers um, who join you in this study, photo voice study, they need to be trained so that they know what is about with photo voice, what are the steps to follow, and so on. But if you are alone, you need to be trained, okay? Only you. Okay, when implementing the method and data analysis, you need to orient the participants on what is photo voice methodology. They need to understand. If they don't understand, it's difficult to follow the steps in how to say, trustworthy way or in an ethical way, because we have here photography training. They need to know pictures in an ethical way. Is not about having artistical pictures, but it's about um, having the most important elements that you are capturing in the pictures, or they are capturing in the pictures. In some places, you cannot have the faces of those who are in the pictures. You need to find ways that your participants, those who are taking pictures, understand these ethical aspects. After this training, you need to give a theme for taking pictures, yeah, because you are the researcher, and you are the one uh, who should give the theme. And what is the main theme of your study? The participants who are taking pictures should know what should be captured in the picture, and you should be very specific with this. After giving the theme, you need to give time for taking pictures. Um, in most of my studies using Photovoice, the participants were very busy. So in some moments or phases, I had to extend the time to say, okay, you didn't have time. Let's have one more week or 2 weeks. It depends on the participants. Yeah. So you should be flexible in giving the time, and they should capture or take pictures as many as they want, because in a next step, they will decide on the best pictures. After taking pictures, you should gather the participants for discussions and have critical reflections and reflection on and dialogue after selecting the photos for discussion. So, taking your participants with their pictures in a discussion, open discussion, and I'll show you some pictures, okay? And one by one, each picture should go through these questions from the showed framework, because they need to respond to these questions so that a story behind the picture is developed, okay? After discussing and reflecting and having this dialogue, they should group the photos by codifying them by themes. So this picture, it's about improving teaching. This one, it's about punctuality. So there are in different groups, okay? And other pictures are coming, and we can put them together, and I am focusing now on the participants, okay? But you are there to coordinate them, to respond to their questions, but not to influence them, okay? This is important. Not to influence them, just to coordinate them. And after that, writing down the stories. I had two studies. In one, I organized the photo essay based on the dialogue and the description of the participants. And in the second, I asked the participants to write the stories. And it was different, because their feelings, their emotions, their experiences were better captured when they uh, wrote the stories. Okay. Here it's an example. Maybe in our discussion we can come back to this. It's about capturing the power of giving recommendations and showing the background of each picture captured in the study. Here it's another picture. I will not read now because I want to keep the time, but we can discuss about them. Here is the photo SM meeting. So gathering, putting the participants in a group to discuss and to present the photos and the stories they developed and to group the pictures by themes. Here I had only 3 participants in this group, but in another group, in another study, I had more participants and also professors from another university we are collaborating with, um, who decided to use Photovoice to improve the lives of those children from orphanage. Okay. And the students from pedagogy, from education, organized this photo voice, and they participated, had several activities for those children. And it was a very, very nice and published article. You can find it on my page. Also, I'm speaking about academia.edu and also ResearchGate. We need to disseminate the findings in Photovoice because if we do not share what we have found, no change would happen. Okay, so we need to select the most important or the most powerful photos for the exhibit. And of course, when you have many participants, you may ask them to choose the best, let's say 5 or 3, or it depends on the number of the participants. Because if you have 20 participants and you ask them to choose 5 pictures, you'll have so many pictures, but it depends on your study. You may decide, okay? But it is important to choose those with the most powerful message, visual and in text. Also, through photo exhibit, we need to organize a photo exhibit to decide on the location, audience, to create or develop an invitation, to print it, also the invitation and the photos for the photo exhibit, and to organize or to plan for a speech, a small speech of the representatives. Because in this environment, during the photo exhibit, is the most important time and step for the policymakers to make decisions, public decisions. And making some decisions in public, they cannot retract, they by sure will implement them. And also, you may disseminate your findings through conference presentation or writing a journal article, depending on your interest. This is an example of the invitation for one study I conducted in collaboration with another university. It's front and back. I put them together. Okay, it's in Romanian. I did not translate. But only to show that you need to present the main information for your photo exhibit so that the participants know what they should expect from that event. Okay, you need to decide on the policymakers that you want to involve in your study, decide on the most powerful or those who have the power or the role, the status to make decisions. Otherwise, it's only a good study, but without decisions. So look for those who really can make decisions to improve a place based on your findings during the photo exhibit. Also, connect with them during photo exhibit. Discuss with them. try to impress them through the findings so that a change would happen there. And in such a context, so far I didn't find, or I didn't have this situation having policymakers without making decisions. In all cases, in all studies, they made decisions very good for the university or for the education program and so on. It depends on the topic that I had in my class, in my studies. And also implementing policy. So keep continuing your discussion, your dialogue with those involved, and ask them to formulate the decisions, to have a plan for this. You may contribute also to this plan as applied for a specific time. You may decide together with the policymakers and collaborate with them, because only through this collaboration, the power of your study can be on the highest level, okay, to implement everything. And conducting outcomes evaluation. So what was good there and what should be improved next in your study? And now I'm showing only some pictures from the photo exhibits I had during my studies. Here it's in our university in two different studies. I covered the faces of the policymakers because I didn't ask permission, but from the participants, yes, I have the permission. And also here in the last study I had good and better in teaching. So after this study, we started to having trainings with our teachers who were very traditionally oriented in teaching. Okay, so we improved our teaching. Here, I provided some information about the last article I published with Sage, how to use Photovoice in diverse contexts to facilitate and amplify voice. So if you want to access this article, you may do it. Thank you very much for your attention. I will stop here sharing,
Thank
and I hope I didn't. Uh, yeah, I have some minutes more than you
you.
provided.
It's all right, all right. Thank you so much, Dr. Janina, for sharing this in a nutshell what Photo Voice is about. And yes, if you want to clap for her, that would be a good time to do that. Photo Voice is an exciting design. I have personally haven't used it, but Dr. Janina has used it, and my colleague, who was, I think, your dissertation chair, uh, basically she does that a lot. And it is a very powerful design. It's a very powerful design. And so we have 21 minutes for questions, and I have some questions here. But before we go to the questions, I want to share with everyone the information you need for to claim your certificate. If you want to claim your certificate, please send me the code. And that is, I'm not going to say it because you have to be present to see it. Some people are going to just watch the recording, and you need to claim it within 1 week. If you request that beyond 1 week, you're not going to receive that. And please, please, please include your screenshot that shows you in this in on this webinar, because that's what we have as evidence that you were here. So please make sure that you do that. And I've had some people whose names are different than what they see on the screen. So just make sure that the name you want you have is the same on the screen and the same in your email, so that there's no confusion. Something else, we're trying to get some some messages for a website we're building for Qualitative Research Connect. So if you have been coming and you want to express your appreciation, anything that you appreciate on that, and you want that to be on our website, please send that to me when you claim your certificate, and we'll be able to add you to the website and represent your university, which is a good thing. So let's get into the discussion. If you have questions, please post them here. But I'm going to get started with the questions. Dr. Janina, thank you again for that very informative presentation. It was a good refresher for me because I haven't talked about Photovoice for a long time now. So it was good to be refreshed on that. The first question I have for you is, what drew you to qualitative research and especially Photovoice?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I didn't expect this question, um, but back then in my PhD studies, being in the Philippines, I better understood how important is to conduct a study that leads you to improvements, to a deep understanding of a situation, uh, that connects you to people experiences that you can learn from that, and you can empower other people through your results, to the results of your study. When it is qualitative, um, it is about being immersed in the study that you are conducting. And probably because it is my personality, I like to be with people. I like to understand people. I want to help people to improve their lives. For this reason, I I have the feeling, and I had it back then, that is the most suitable methodology for me, qualitative research. Of course, I'm not against the quantitative research. Each methodology has its own place. It depends on on the purpose of your study, of course. But I feel that this is my place, based on my personality and based on what actually I want to do in the educational field, because through qualitative research, I can improve many aspects in the educational field in Romania. And I started doing this. Um, Photo voice, why photo voice? I think during my PhD studies, we had a series of presentation and trainings with you, Dr. Arceli Rosario, and other scholars from IAS. And it was very powerful, research design. I understood that will fit very well my methodology for my dissertation. And when I proposed, or I discussed with my advisor, my advisor told me that, oh, Janina, is too much. You have action research, you have case study, now photo voice. It's three. You have three research designs in your study. I think it's too much. And I said, please let me try this because it's about improving some aspects in my university, implementing something new there. And I need to show the results. And the best way is to have photo voice, to show to the policymakers what is happening there during my study, what is happening in the university. And for this reason, exploring photo voice in my study, oh, I took the decision that I should conduct and show this research design or train other people in Photovoice because it's very powerful. The rewards were immediately after the study. Many aspects have improved in my university. And not only that, we have another public university, it's big university in Romania. They asked me to train them in photo voice, and now they have a project that it's growing and growing, involving professors from that university, students, and children and other people from marginalized groups. Um, so it's meaningful, you can change, really change a place, really improving something, and no one can deny what you are showing in your pictures, what the participants are putting in their stories behind the pictures. So just try to use photo voice, and after that, by sure, you'll never depart of it because it's really meaningful and powerful.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that comprehensive answer, Dr. Janina. We have a lot of questions coming. I'm going to leave my questions on the side. I'm going to address the question from Dr. L. Lunzaga, because this is something that we have not really been, you don't see this in the literature. You'll take the next one, Dr. Janina. You'll take Jason Bimuyag's question. But this design, the Zaltman metaphor elicitation technique, you will not you will not find this in the mainstream qualitative research scholarship. And as I'm reading about it, I just checked on that after your question. I see that it's primarily for market research. Photo voice is about empowerment. The primarily philosophy of photo voice is empowerment, while Zaltman's metaphor elicitation technique is primarily on research and market. Yes, both use photos, but as you can see, the photos used in Zaltman's technique, it's more of using pictures that are already there. While in photo voice, we create the pictures. People have to take pictures of their surroundings, of their community, of their life, things that describe, that explain their lived experiences. While the other one is really you can take pictures or you can use pictures that exist. So although I would expect Zaltman's technique to be part of qualitative research, it's not yet strong in the mainstream qualitative research scholarship. So that's what we would say on that. Let's go to the next question, Dr. Janina. How many pictures should a participant choose for discussion using the showed framework?
Mhm. This is a very good question, and I promise that I will come back to some details here. It depends on your number of participants, because if you have many participants and you ask them to um, choose, I don't know, 5 or 10 for each participant, maybe you'll have too many photos. But at the beginning, they should take as many as they want, because um, when you are in the process of taking pictures as a participant, you cannot decide which is the best, or one of the best. And for this reason, let them take as many as they want. And during the discussion and presentation, they can bring only how many you decided. Usually, I am asking them to bring five, the best five pictures from the group of pictures they took. Why? Because you'll see that with many participants, you don't have enough time. It's time consuming photo voice. You need to know that from the beginning, because you have this time with the participants, they discussing, debating, describing the photos and the story behind each picture. So if you have, let's say, 10 participants, 5 pictures would be enough. Okay. Also, it depends on your topic, because if your topic has, let's say, can be divided in sub teams, you should have more pictures to have enough pictures for each team. Okay. Imagine that all the pictures the participants are bringing to this discussion, they need to group them by themes. okay? And you want to see if those teams are responding to your research questions. Yeah. So I think it's the decision that you should make at the moment, depending on the number of you participants, on the topic that you are exploring. It is this topic in, let's say, two phases. I have this study, how is the teaching in the university? What do you like most about the teaching in the university? And they showed through pictures what is happening, really happening in the university regarding the teaching. Because, in next communism or former communist country, as a student, you don't have a voice. So you cannot say, I would like to have, I don't know, modern teaching strategies and methods used in the classroom. It's about traditional, yeah, teacher teaching, and that's all. And for this reason, I split in two phases the study. In the first phase, when they showed what is happening in the university, they decided on 5 pictures for each participant. So we had around 100 pictures for each phase, for the first phase. And after that, how is the teaching in the classes who decided to implement modern teaching strategies? So for this second phase, we had around 50 photos, because it was not about the entire university. So you may decide, is not a number that I can say, this is the best number, but you may decide based on the number of participants and the objectives of the study.
All right, let's go to the next question, and that is how many participants? I had written this one actually. So this person has asked that how many participants do you recommend for a photo voice design?
Mhm. Um, I had a small group of participants, 5. It was the lowest number, the smallest number, and it went very well with very good results. And I was involved in the study with my colleagues from the other university I told you about, with 25 participants taking pictures. So, as you know, in qualitative research, the number is not so important, but the quality of the data collected. Of course, you cannot have only one participant if you want to have a strong impact, in your community. Uh, in the same time, think that it's photo voice, it's time consuming. So if you have, no, I don't know, 30, 14 participants, you cannot manage well this, there are too many. So, if you know very well the photo voice research design and you want to try, I would suggest to try with a pretty small number. Yeah. Um, Around 6, 10 at the beginning. Okay. After that, when you are more familiarized with photo voice, you can add more participants. Of course, you can add during the process. You know, um, if you selected only the students, the group of the students, as those with you wanted to give a voice, it's only one example. Um, and after that, you decide that if those people with non-academic responsibilities, let's say secretary or those from HR and other groups can add value to your study, you can ask them to join, okay? But you should go through the same steps as you did with the students. So you may add if you need, if you feel that your study can be improved through other people, through other participants. You also will have people who will drop out the study because it's too much. You are taking a lot from their time. So I had this experience, and it was not nice for me as the researcher, but we know that the participation is voluntary. So they can accept or not to be in your study. They can accept, and after that drop out the participation. It's free. Okay. Yeah, I cannot say that is a number, a specific number, but like in, as you know, in qualitative research, we can have a small number. We can add more during the process, is not a problem with that. The main important aspect is that those involved should bring um, information through their pictures that may influence policymakers. Think on this objective, and after that, you may decide the number and the type of the participants.
All right, thank you so much. We have two more questions. If you can address each one in 1 minute, we will be able to take them both. Oh, one, and then there's a third one. So the first one, in the critical reflection and dialogue phase, is it conducted through one-on-one interview or through FGD, focus group discussion?
During that meeting, it's a group discussion. Okay. If you have many participants, you may split the group because it's difficult to have 20 participants in just one meeting. So it's not one by one.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's by groups.
Very good. It makes perfect sense. The next question again comes from El Lunzaga, who says, "Will the photo quality?" It's a very good, very interesting question. Will the photo quality brought about by different gadgets, for example, affect the results? How would you ensure that it is the participant's voice reflected in the photos, not of the researcher? This one, I think we need like 2 hours to address this. But in 1 minute, please give it.
Yeah, but they are very, very good questions. So, photo voicing is not about art. So,
Mhm.
if the quality of the picture is not on at the best resolution, is not a problem. It's not about art. It's about the message behind. Okay, most of the time, and yeah, you can ensure that is not your voice because the participants respond one by one those questions from the showed framework. And in one of my study, I recommended that they should write by their own the stories so that you cannot influence in any way this story behind the picture. So you are not anymore there as the researcher, the story is written by the participant.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to take the last one because we have only 1 minute to 1 to 2 minutes. Do the faces captured need to be blurred? Yes, if you didn't get the permission for that, you need to blur those pictures because if you do not do that, you are ethically and legally bound, and somebody can actually sue you for that. And so you're trying to empower people. You need to protect them. That's the least you can do is to protect them. So if you're going to use some of these pictures, each one of them you need to ask permission. Even if it's a picture of a location, uh, and that location is something that may affect people indirectly, whether it is for their safety or sending a negative marketing for them, you need to ask permission to use those pictures. If and preferably you should have it in writing. Let's give a round of applause to Dr. Janina. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us today. And so she has shared the article there. You can download that. Or if it's not downloadable, you can check that through your university library. They will be able to give you access to that. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It is wonderful to have you here. Next time we meet will be next year. we have two webinars on qualitative data analysis because this is a topic that many people have been requesting. One of them was photo voice. That's the reason why I asked Dr. Janina, the expert, to talk about that. And the next one will be on qualitative data analysis. One will be on coding, the first one, and the next one will be on analyzing qualitative data using artificial intelligence. I have somebody, a very, very well-renowned person who has agreed to share with us. Will you be receiving that information in the mail? I'll be sending I'll be posting this recording on our Facebook group. And also this starting today, I will try to share the recording also through email so that you can immediately access it. Again, thank you so much everyone for coming. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you in 2025. Dr. Janina, thank you again for
Thank
everything.
you. Thank you
I wish
for
you the very best. Let's stay in touch. Bye-bye, everyone.
happy holidays.
You too. Thanks.